If you've clicked on this video, chances are you've played with a gun mod or two. These are usually super fun to play with and have an awesome selection of weapons to choose from, but there's always something missing. You've probably wished that that gun mod had this gun or that gun. Maybe you've even gone and opened up Blockbench and made a model for this gun, but you have no idea how to get it into your Minecraft world. Regardless of why you're here, today I'm going to show you how you can make any gun of your choosing in vanilla Minecraft without needing any prior coding knowledge. While we won't be doing any actual coding, we will have to edit a couple JSON files in order to add stuff to a resource pack. While not required, I would recommend you install Visual Studio Code. It has syntax highlighting that makes it easier to know which parts of the files you need to edit. If you don't want to, or you just can't seem to get the program installed, don't worry, it's not necessary in the slightest. Everything we'll be doing can be done in Notepad or any other default text editor. Now, before we can get started making our custom guns, we will need to download the Game Barns Guns data pack and resource pack. The data pack has all of the code necessary to make our custom guns work and function, and the resource pack contains many of the gun models, sounds, and other assets that we will use for our custom guns. The links for both of these will be in the description of the video. Once you have the Game Barns Guns data pack in your world and the resource pack applied, you will want to make sure that your world has commands enabled. This is because we need access to command blocks to give ourselves our custom guns. If cheats are not enabled on your single player world, you can fix this by sharing out the world to LAN and making sure that commands are turned on. Now we can start making our custom guns. You'll want to go over to my website, gamebarn.net, and click on the generators page in the header. Then, you'll go over to the gun generator. We'll cover the ammo generator in a later part of this tutorial. Everything that you have control over when making your custom guns is listed right here. If you've already messed around with the gun generator in the past and have a good understanding about what each attribute is, feel free to skip to the next portion of the video where I will go over adding custom models and sounds. The left column is composed entirely of the cosmetic/visual aspects of your gun. The first thing is the gun's name. With this generator, you have full control over the formatting of the item name, and you can add new sections to apply different formatting to different parts of the name. Next is the gun's model. You have access to any of the gun models used in the base Game Barns Guns pack, as well as any of the models from any of the official add-on packs. You can also use your own custom model that you've added with the resource pack. We'll cover that later. So, for now, we'll just use some of the already implemented models. Next are the gun's shoot and reload sounds. Just like with the models, you have access to any of the sounds utilized by Game Barns Guns or its official add-ons. You can also choose your own custom sounds added by a resource pack, or you can even use any vanilla Minecraft sound. The right side column is all of the stats and attributes that affect how your gun functions in-game. The first stat is damage. Damage, as you would expect, indicates how much damage the gun will deal to its target. There is one exception, however. When the damage type of the gun is set to either explosion, safe explosion, or underwater explosion, the damage value is instead used as the explosion radius for the explosion that spawned on impact. Next up is range. The gun's range is exactly how many blocks the projectile can travel before despawning. Range is one of the best ways to balance your gun, as it's pivotal in how the gun can ultimately be used, especially in the case of guns with lower ranges. Then, you have the gun's rate of fire. The rate of fire is how long the player must wait in ticks between each shot of their gun. For reference, there are 20 ticks in a second. And, as a general rule of thumb, most rate of fires will be 40 ticks or less, with automatic guns either having 1 or 4 tick rate of fires. Be careful when choosing to give a gun a very slow rate of fire, however, as the cooldown applies to all guns, meaning that if the player shoots a gun with a low rate of fire, they cannot use or reload any other guns until that cooldown is over. The next stat is the gun's max ammo. Very self-explanatory, this is how many times you can shoot the gun before needing to reload. After that is the gun's reload speed. This is the time in ticks that the player must wait after initiating a reload before they can shoot the gun again. Similarly to the rate of fire, this cooldown applies to all guns, so keep that in mind. After that, you have recoil strength. The strength of the recoil affects how much the camera is shifted upward after shooting. Currently, there are only 4 levels of recoil: none, weak, medium, and strong. For a smoother gameplay experience, avoid using strong recoil on weapons with a very quick rate of fire. Next is the gun's zoom strength. This affects how much the camera zooms in when the player aims with their gun. At this moment in time, the amount of zoom granted from gun aiming is relatively negligible. In future updates, however, this will be remedied. Now we've gotten to the projectile type. At the most basic level, the projectile type affects what the projectile looks like when shot. However, it also affects how the projectile behaves and interacts with the world around it. Bullet and bullet light will shoot through glass and break it in the process. Laser and large laser will shoot through glass without breaking it. Fire and blaze fire have a slight curve and are unable to shoot through water. Blaze fire will leave a trail of fire wherever the projectile goes, and pink has a powerful downward curve. The rocket, red, green, blue, light, and purple projectile types have no special behavior aside from their appearance. The next stat is the gun's damage type. The biggest difference between damage types is how they interact with the entity/block on contact. Explosion, safe explosion, and underwater explosion will spawn an explosion upon hitting a block or mob. Safe explosion will not break blocks, explosion will only break blocks on land, and underwater explosion will break blocks regardless. Fire will ignite mobs on fire, and the other three damage types, bullet, laser, and ray, only differ in the death messages produced upon death. Next is the reload type. This affects how ammo is replenished when the player reloads your gun. There are 5 reload types presently. Magazine fills up the gun completely at the cost of 1 ammo item. Shell replenishes only 1 shot and consumes only 1 ammo item. Bullet refills the gun completely and consumes the same number of ammo items as shots replenished. And partial 25, 50, and 75 refill the gun's ammo 25, 50, and 75% respectively. The final attribute for your custom guns is the ammo that it uses. To make your life easier, especially when testing, the generator lets you select any of the ammo items added by Gambarns guns. There is support to let users add their own custom ammo, but we'll cover that later in the tutorial when we talk about the ammo generator. If you scroll down a bit, you'll notice that there are 2 generate buttons and 2 output boxes. One is for the give command and the other is for the JSON component string. 90% of the time, you will use the give command. The give command is the quickest and easiest way to get your custom gun into your hands. The JSON string is what you'll need if you decide you want to put your custom guns in a data pack. To show off how this works, I'm going to make a simple custom gun. Now, I can click copy and paste this into a command block in Minecraft. Congratulations, you've made your first custom gun. While this is cool on its own, it jumps to a whole new level when you add a custom model and custom sounds to it. Linked in the description of this video will be a download link to a template resource pack that you can use to add your own models and sounds. After downloading, you'll want to extract the zip. Then, move the extracted zip to the resource packs folder. To get to this folder, go to Options, Resource Packs, and click on the Open Resource Packs folder button. This tutorial assumes you already know how to make your own custom models and textures with Blockbench. If you do not know how to do this, there are some tutorials linked in the description of this video that will help teach you. Now, we have our JSON model file, but there are a few things we want to make sure we have before exporting it to our resource pack. Go over to the Display tab. Over here, make sure that your gun model looks good from each of these visual perspectives. These are very important as they affect how the player sees the custom model for your gun in-game. Now, you will take the JSON model file and place it inside the resource pack. Go to Assets, Minecraft, Models, Item, and then gun_caret. You can delete the placeholder file and then paste in your custom model. Next, you'll go back to the Minecraft folder, and this time, go to Textures and then Custom Textures. You can delete the placeholder file here as well, and then paste in your texture file. Now, these files are in the proper place, but we need to tell the model file where exactly the texture file is. So go back to where the model file is inside the resource pack and open it in Blockbench. The model, as I said, will not know where the texture file is, so you'll want to right-click on the texture in Blockbench and click Change File. You will then find your texture file inside the resource pack, and then select it and click Open. Right now we have the regular gun model, and this is what the player sees 90% of the time. However, we need to make a slightly altered variant of the file for when the player zooms in with the custom gun. We'll go over to the Display tab, and then go to the first person right slot. You'll then position your gun so it looks like the player is aiming with it. Make sure that the first person left view has the same positioning, and once done, save your model with the same name as before, except with underscore zoom added to the end of it. Our custom models are almost done. The next step is in telling Minecraft what item to apply the model to and when to apply the model. Open the carrot-on-a-stick.json file. Where it says item/gun/mygun and item/gun/mygunzoom, you'll want to replace mygun with the name of your model file. And now our resource pack is fully complete. Before closing the window, you'll want to copy the number after custom model data. Now, head back over to the gun generator and set the gun to use a custom model. After pasting in the custom model data, generate the give command so we can see what it looks like in game. Obviously, you'll want to make sure that the resource pack is applied first, so go and change the resource pack. Unfortunately, due to how Minecraft handles custom models at this time, having both of these resource packs applied at the same time will cause issues, so make sure that only your custom resource pack is applied. Now that we have that resource pack applied, we can give ourselves our gun. Now that you have your custom models working, the next step in making your custom gun is for it to have its own sounds. Firstly, you'll need some sound files. These sounds must be in the .ogg format, or else Minecraft won't recognize them. Now, we'll want to go over to the sounds folder in the resource pack and place our sounds files there. Then, we'll go back over to the Minecraft folder and open up the sounds.json file. Now, there are several parts to this file. The first part is the name of the sound. This is what the sound is called in Minecraft and what the name of the sound is when you use the /playSound command. Next is the location and name of the sound file. Since we put our files right in the sounds folder directly, all we need to do is make sure that the name is the same as the file name for our sound. The final thing to pay attention to is stream. The default value is false. False is good for short, quick sounds that are each under a few seconds long, while true is good for sounds that are longer than just a few seconds. The reason this is important is because long sounds, when stream is set to false, will cut out midway through. However, when stream is set to true, no more than 4 of the same sound can play at once. This means that generally, you'll want to have stream set to false for shooting sounds and true for reload sounds. Now that we're done with that, our sound should be able to play in-game. Go back to the gun generator and select the custom sound option for both the shoot sound and reload sound. Make sure that the name of the sound you put here is exactly the same as what you typed in the sounds.json file. Now we can make the give command for our new gun and try it out. Congratulations! Now you have your custom gun fully made with custom models and sounds. While not as important, there is still one thing left. Our custom gun still uses regular Game & Barnes guns ammunition. There are 2 ways we can fix this. The first is to make the gun simply not require ammo. This also, however, removes reloading, so this obviously isn't the best. The other option is to add custom ammo. Let's go back to our custom resource pack and go to the models folder. The process for adding the custom model for your ammo is almost identical to adding a custom model for your gun, so I'll speed through this part. Now that we're done with that, we'll want to copy the custom model data and then go back to the gun generator. Keep this tab open so we don't have to retype everything later, and go to the generators page. Finally, we're going to use the ammo generator. The first thing we'll want to do, we need to put in the base item as a command block, since that's what our custom model is made for. After that, paste in the custom model data for the ammo's custom model. Next, we'll give the ammo item a special unique tag, then we'll give our ammo item a name. Head back to the gun generator page and scroll down to the bottom and change the ammo to custom. Put in command block as the base item and then paste in the ammo tag. Now that that's done, we'll want to click generate and copy out both the gun and ammo give commands and put them both in command blocks. there is one issue left to discuss. Due to how Minecraft handles resource packs that both add custom models to the same item, we will need to merge the two packs in order to use the custom resource pack and the original Ganbarns Guns resource pack at the same time. The easiest method, and the one I recommend you use 99% of the time, is using Weld by Smithid. You'll need to zip up both packs properly first, but after that it's as simple as uploading both resource packs to the website. If the website is down, or the pack doesn't merge properly, you will have to do the merging manually. The process for merging them manually is fairly easy, as it's mostly just moving files from our custom resource pack to the Ganbarns Guns resource pack. We'll want to move the models from our resource pack to the Ganbarns Guns resource pack. We'll also need to copy over the carrot-on-a-stick.json override entries as well. Make sure to put the custom entries at the very end of the file, after all of the default ones, or else the pack won't work properly. We'll also need to copy over the texture folder as well. Go to the textures folder of both packs and move the entire custom textures folder from the custom pack to the Ganbarns Guns pack. Don't worry about opening up the custom model files and making sure they know where the textures are, as the file path is still the same from the Guns point of view. And finally, copy the sound files from the custom pack to the Ganbarns Guns pack, and then open the sounds.json files from both packs. Copy the entries from our custom resource pack, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and add a comma, and paste in the entries at the bottom of the file from the Ganbarns Guns resource pack. Unlike with the custom model entries, these don't need to be at the bottom. However, it will make them easier to find and make changes later if they are. Now if you remove your resource pack and put on the Ganbarns Guns one, you'll notice that the custom gun still has its custom model and all of the custom sounds. You now have all of the knowledge and all of the skills necessary to make any custom gun of your choosing. Again, if you need any help with this, feel free to join my Discord server. The link is in the description.